Facebook up and off the ground. You know, maybe we need to do it as a community. I think there's a lot of great ideas out there. If you know, I'm sure most of you in this room know that David Packard from Hewlett-Packard, who is probably the father, the grandfather of, you know, the tech industry, is from Pueblo. So, you know, we need to embrace that spirit, you know, that we've had. And like I say, there's problems.
There is a rumor out there that a regressive Democrat attacked me, and that's why my right shoulder is affected. Not true.
Today, 9/11. 9/11 happened, it cut me off at the knees. I was doing great, but a lot of our stores, we primarily service the tourist industry. The tourist industry went to heck after 9/11.
Because, for one, small business turned into big businesses, and a small business is considered 500 or less people.
We cannot deny the needs in our neighborhoods. Steve Naraki and others on council have had ample time to deal with the boarded up shacks that need torn down in our neighborhoods. They didn't do it. They had Mr. Atencio bragging. The Safeway store closed on the east side, 2 years now, a white elephant.
To simplify our tax code, to cut corporate taxes, to increase our GDP growth, and to put more money in hardworking Americans' pockets. And I want him to succeed at tax reform.
Around unfinished business, I was the first to announce my last regular meeting at City Council, December 26, 2017.
Project manager with R&K International that exported U.S. infrastructure technology to Taiwan. 2003, there was a simple exercise, and there was 50 city council people represented, and the question was, why would you come to your community?
We continue to be able to have the house and sales tax be able to support startup businesses. As far as entrepreneurship, when I became the director of SRDA,
and do more things that are free for the citizen to do. We want to make Pueblo a more diverse city through world, cultures, and art.
Excitement to the city. The mayor is going to have to bring that type of excitement to the city. I graduated from SCSC with a degree.
My career success followed pillars of the Boulder thesis on entrepreneurship. I sought expertise in my leadership. I committed for the long term. I sought the inclusion about perspectives, and I engaged the community at every level. And people in this room can do the same, and I can help you. If we do not increase our economies and bring more wealth into our community, all of us will benefit by increased activity economically. When I'm your mayor. Thank you.
Business administration in management. Most people don't realize that the mayor job is not some glamorous Hollywood kind of position.
We want to bring local artists and international artists and people from around the world to
Sitting there, houses boarded up, and he brags about what he achieved on the east side. Now, these people have had a chance. Now they want to be mayor after they rigged the system. They have the money, Mr. Gradishar let you all know.
Finish the landscaping, finish flowering up Union Avenue, and then let's do Main Street, and then let's do Northern Avenue, and then let's do Agriendo Avenue. These are the things that a mayor is going to be able to do.
we purchased a program from St. Mary Corner, the Lifeline program. There was 3 providers in North America. Today there's about 75 different providers that do emergency response systems. we were able to grow, together with my colleagues, we were able to grow that program from a $40,000 investment over 20 years to over $1 million budget with $2,500 subscribers. I call that a startup company. We not only were serving Pueblo, Colorado, but we were serving southeastern Colorado and Cortez, New Mexico.
I have a financial background with a degree in accounting and owner of a small business as a self-employed accountant. I am chairman of the supervisory committee of Power Credit Union, which is responsible for arranging for the audits of the operations of the credit.
I look forward to having the chance to be your mayor. In terms of startup businesses,
Most people that have small businesses usually take their business and start another business and leave it in the hands of the one they trusted it in.
I served 7 years on Petco's board of directors. I think it's paramount that we continue the half-cent sales tax, not only for bringing
I had to bring that company back in 2013 with a $1.2 billion budget. It has to do with the ideas. Let's talk about economic development. These are things that I've already done. I believe that Pueblo is on the verge of really exploding because we need to turn our economic development policies into bringing what I call a tourist magnet to Pueblo. We're a great event city. Can I bring Pueblo back? I don't think I have to bring Pueblo back. I don't think we have to make it super. I don't think we have to make it anything. I think we're as great as we can make it. I believe in our economic strategy through Petco. I wanted to say that because if you look at communities like Pueblo, Youngstown, Ohio, Gary, Indiana, their populations actually were cut in half. You're talking about cities now that have 60, 70,000 people when they had over 100,000 in population. So we have an opportunity here in Pueblo to revamp and redesign and really create something that's just going to be awesome and really what I call a new era and a new Pueblo. Thank you.
Well, I stood up. I'm so proud of this community. We have so much stuff that's right. I kept going for 10 minutes. My level of energy and excitement and passion was just, I couldn't stand it. It was great. It was wonderful.
Okay, the next thing I'd like to speak about is my reason for running for mayor and how I would like to have the city advance. Pueblo has a lot of intellectuals, and what I mean by this, people with college degrees, lifetime experience, world experience. The more intellectuals we have,
There is a rumor out there that a regressive Democrat attacked me, and that's why my right shoulder is affected. Not true.
Can we progress? Yes, we can. We can progress, make it bigger, make it smarter, make it more livable. Yes, we can. How do we do that? I'll give you an idea. I was on Union Street just yesterday. The Concilias do a great job of landscaping B Street and the block down. The rest of Union Avenue is without it. We need to bring that type of
As far back as I can remember, politics was taught in my parents' house as I was growing up. Whether it was county or whether it was Steelworkers Union, the stories my parents told of the activities within the courthouse and the Union Hall held my attention.
when you grow as one, we will become the powerhouse of the Southwest. Now, the more people that we can introduce into small businesses,
to the east to Kansas and Colorado Springs. I feel that experience really gives me an appreciation of how important it is to support entrepreneurship and startup businesses in Pueblo. Our federal delegation.
Lead. In terms of leadership, I've led on the 100% renewable for the city. I'm leading on the Electric Utility Commission, which will deal with our electricity needs in the future. And I've led in terms of, again, projects that bring changes to the city, to people, and changes in their lives that make them positive. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your vote, and I appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
I look at my life of work, my education. I look at all of the things that I've done for this community.
We don't need another politician. Obviously, everything that's been going on in Pueblo with these elected officials and the organizations, it's obviously not working. I'm not a genius, but I do know that if we have an issue in a certain area, let's get all the professionals together in that area to come up with a solution. I don't know if these elected officials are in there sleeping or what, but I plan on going in there, waking them up, bringing in some good energy and some fresh ideas.
Jody Voss, you're up next. The last candidate for the night.
In the downtown area.
The better our city would be.
Small companies, you invest back into the community. Venture capitalists, you give the money to them and they invest back in the community.
There were stories of conflict amongst individuals. It was because of this exposure, helping my parents to do precinct work by handing out literature for Democratic Party candidates and conducting precinct caucus meetings that
enhance our art and our tourism. My motto: unity, diversity, family, and community. We, Pueblo, can be one of the top 10 safest and most prosperous city in the United States. We can do it. And in closing, I ask for your vote and your support, and I thank you for your time.
encourage a willingness to take a calculated risk, promote self-confidence, and collaborate.
How much cash he's got on hand. He set this up from the time that he came to city council. They had this whole thing rigged. I call it TIPP. This is Pueblo politics. If you want Pueblo to change and grow, you need somebody like me who's been an advocate for people with disabilities, for people who are disenfranchised. My record's very clear. I just don't go around bragging like some of these people.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming out this evening, and thank you, Mr. Voss, for inviting me. I am Ms. Voss. I am not married to Taylor. I am not his sister, which I could revel in that for a while. But we are cousins, and we have fun when he gets together with his grandma and grandpa, who I love dearly.
They will learn to save, invest, and grow. They will enhance technical thinking and learning capability.
As small business begin to boom, and as small business begin to show economical growth,
by an outside accounting agency.
That's going to fly into Pueblo with a Superman suit and kind of take over. That's not going to happen. The primary job that the mayor is going to have is managing over 20 department heads.
But the reality for me was the other 49 that came after. Now these are city council people from all over the country. Nobody had the energy or the passion, and some of them struggled to come up with one or two things that really involved something that somebody would want to come to the community.
Next candidate is Larry Fancher.
vocational and technical schools. Let's make it possible for young people to acquire the personal qualities to take initiative, be a native, be innovative, and imaginative.
I'm sorry. If they really experienced the right things about Pueblo, guess what they would be doing? They would be coming down here and being part of this community. Look at the tourism. Look at I-25. We've got one of the greatest resources of sales tax generation that you can imagine.
We need something.
Jody Voss, you're up next.
That mayor platform is going to be one heck of a platform to be able to do the things that Pueblo needs to be done. And that's having billboards on I-25 having them come to this community. For years we have not had that. Again, leadership would take care of that. So again, with the entrepreneurs and the startup companies, the new conversation, I am proud to say that this is something that this community needs to have from now on.
We need something.
My name is Tom Groschel. I have had a small business before, so I know what a lot of entrepreneurs go through.
We need something.
We need to have this be something that people
I am an entrepreneur.
like Taylor Voss and the youth of this community really step up to the plate and have a louder conversation than the naysayers and the ones that are not proud of this community or find fault with this community. So again, with this election, the citizens of Pueblo said very clearly, the status quo, the stagnant quo is no longer acceptable. We want something different, we want something better, and this is the time for the citizens now to vote in for that. Thank you very much.
We need something. In Pueblo, and I'm working on a project right now where we would bring in a tourist magnet that would get people excited. If
I decided to run for mayor because I think I can make a change the way Pueblo is going. Originally, I didn't start out with the intention of going this far. I thought that maybe I would find somebody that would step up and that would be a good leader, that would go for change, somebody I could get behind, but I didn't see that happen.
There's so much to be proud of.
Jody Voss, you're up next.
So Russ Davis Wholesale, Big R, they should have been able to go on the open market and borrow the money.
So I'm here because, like all of you, I love Pueblo.
Facebook up and off the ground. You know, maybe we need to do it as a community. I think there's a lot of great ideas out there. If you know, I'm sure most of you in this room know that David Packard from Hewlett Packard, who is probably the father, the grandfather of, you know, the tech industry. It's from Pueblo. So, you know, we need to embrace that spirit, you know, that we've had. And like I say, there's probably
Enhancing the ideas and potential of an entrepreneur. But let's go further than that. Let's introduce entrepreneurship as a subject in high school.
And that's going to be a very, very important job.
Council for Juvenile Justice. Returning to Pueblo, I started working at a small corporation with a $50,000 audit, and from there built a multi-million-dollar corporation.
So I do have a background in management. I have a degree in management. I'm a student of TQM, and I feel that I would be able to hit the ground running. I also have served on the Pueblo Board of Education in 1993 to 2001, and I was president in 96 and 97. And through that experience, I was able to work on a $100 million budget. I currently serve on the Board of Governors for the CSU system, which manages.
The last thing in terms of why I think I bring the best suitability to become your mayor is my experience, not only the 8 years and the 5 years as president, but also the opportunity that I've had to be able to serve this community in 30 years as the CEO of a large nonprofit corporation. Our operating budget exceeds about $5 million a year. Total budget for the organization is about $10 million a year, taking a look at all of our assets and properties and equipment. I feel that's the kind of an experience that I can bring to the city, plus my relationships with our state delegates.
Merging 3 separate entities. I used entrepreneurial skills to advance this corporation into southeastern Colorado, working with elected officials and private business, state officials, federal officials, school districts, and private business. I learned some of these skills from my dad, who was an entrepreneur along with his brothers, all entrepreneurs and successful in business. My leadership has been evaluated by the Center for Creative Leadership and is deemed as exceptional. And I will lead with conviction and with perspective. Our future state may look dismal when you consider the statistics we all know about poverty, our drug state, and our aging population. And in fact, you may or may not know, we have the fastest aging population on the Front Range. So, who is left to work and contribute to our economy, and alone build a strong, vibrant economy that is sustainable? Therefore, my sense of urgency.
We shouldn't have had to lend them that money to get their jobs here. They should have wanted to come to Pueblo because of the workforce that they have available. We need to reinvest that money, like I say, back into the community, into local businesses. It's like not everybody has a parent like Mark Zuckerberg who can lend them the money to get.
And I want to be your mayor because I have a sense of urgency about our future state. And truly believe that we should no longer have a collective inferiority complex about being Pueblo.
I think one of the things that we're dealing with is an image that we have something phenomenal here that we really need to start within ourselves talking about what's right with Pueblo instead of what's wrong with Pueblo.
The mayor is the chief executive of the city, and he oversees departments such as police, fire, transportation, and public works. He signs all contracts, licenses, and permits. He enforces all of the laws of the city. As the head of the city, the mayor speaks for the city government as well as for the community as a whole. Entrepreneurship is the study of how new businesses are created as well as the actual process of starting a new business.
We must succeed in tax reform to get our economy jump-started again. And so it makes no sense to me why people are so intent on beating up the leader of our country. We need him to do great things for us in the future.
That in turn inspires younger people, and also it persuades bigger business to come and to want to be here. So everyone wants a piece of the American dream, but we have to show them that we can do it and we're Pueblo strong. And I ask you for your support, and thank you very much for coming.
And the opportunity that I've had to work with our county commissioners, and most of all, the opportunity that I've had to work with the existing city council, minus one individual, Mark Aliff, who I've never had a chance to serve with in all the past ones. So thank you very much, and I appreciate your support.
Janet Wilson, you're up next.
And I feel that I have the experience to do it. And that's my mantra. I think experience really matters in this election. And just to give you my background, I grew up here in Pueblo. I graduated from South High School. My brother-in-law tells me that'll get me 50 votes right there.
Jody Voss, you're up next.
This will help them select and shape their career path as employees or entrepreneurs. Starting a business requires an idea for a new product or a service, a process or a new technology, people to support that work, employees, vendors, and advisors, a process to deliver the product or service or develop the needed technology, enough money to support the...
Somebody waking up in Denver at 6 o'clock in the morning and say, we're going to go spend 2 or 3 days in Pueblo. Right now, we don't have that kind of thing. We have events, and for our businesses, it's do or die. I believe that we need to do housing in this area. I'm talking to 3 developers right now that want to build housing for young millennials.
You want to do the right things. City Council is a great platform if you want to do good. The mayor will be an elevated platform and will be able to do a lot more if a person with the kind of expertise that I have, for instance, I have my undergraduate degree is in industrial engineering, technology. My master's degree is in public administration. I actually know how to run a city or a department of a city. No one else has that education. No one else has the experience. I had a business for 33 years. And speaking of entrepreneurship, I actually took lollipops and developed...
About being Pueblo. Yes, we have our challenges as other communities, but we have more. We have our climate, our people, our air, and the people who have a diversity and rich heritage, who are willing to work and who love this community and willing to do what it takes to be better. After college, I worked in Seattle, and then in Anchorage, and then ended up in a Native American bush village with about 250 people. Why there? I worked for the school district, I worked for the city, I conducted economic studies, worked for BLM and the Alaska Federation of Natives, and became a governor appointee to an advisory.
I operate and assume the risk of a business venture with a service that people buy. I built my organization to support the sale of that service. Not only should we encourage entrepreneurship, we should also do entrepreneurship development. We should provide a process for improving the skills and knowledge of entrepreneurs by means of training and classroom programs, because we want to increase the number of entrepreneurs here in our community. This makes for better entrepreneurs and better businesses. It also improves the pace at which businesses are created. This leads to an improved economy for our community and makes room for more employment. Entrepreneur development targets individuals who want to start or expand a business. It also focuses on...
I think it's a perfect time to do it. Why do we want to do all this stuff? Our city survives on sales tax. Without sales tax, nothing is going to happen. And sales tax is the only way that we're going to be able to do the things that we need to do in the community. Safety, road work, whatever it is. The other thing, in speaking about being on the school board, whoever the mayor is, his first job is going to make sure that he brings everyone in the community together. He is going to be an important job that says no more fighting between the commissioners, the school board, the city, Pueblo West. We have to come together.